Hello everybody, welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'm going to be bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We have constant content coming out, and again, we would like to give a shout out to our patrons. We appreciate all the tips and support. Just going to go towards making the channel better. At a certain point, we're going to use it to add more tables and add more games. Roulette is probably going to be our first one that we add, by the way. If you are curious, just see the description of the video. So for today's strategy, we're going to do an interesting strategy. Now this is another strategy that requires a decent sized bankroll. So of course it's not going to be for everybody, but I thought it was kind of an interesting strategy, so I figured I would post it up here for you guys. Now the way this one's going to work is, like a lot of strategies, it doesn't matter what the point is, so we're just going to set the point as 10. And again, it's going to use place bets. And now this one is going to be $3.20 across. That's why I say this one requires a decent sized bankroll. Depending on where you look, you're going to see advice of always have a bankroll big enough to see 10 shooters. I'm not entirely certain I buy into that completely, so it's up to you. You know, if you have a 10 times your bet bankroll, you really have a bankroll for a lot more than 10 shooters, because very rarely are you going to just get 10 in a row point outs. Then again, for strategies like this that require a few hits, 10 shooters is not necessarily a bad idea, because you need to see a decent number of rolls. So the way this strategy works is it's going to be based on what rolls as far as what you do. But the idea is to get your bets up. If anything rolls, regardless of what rolls, let's say if 5 rolls, you're going to get paid $70. Okay? What you're going to do is you're going to collect 10, and you're going to press the 6 and 8 up to $90. The next hit, you're going to either press the 6 and 8 again if it was one of these outside numbers, or it's all going to depend. So if it's one of these 4 numbers, you're going to press the 6 and 8 up to 120. If it's a 6 and 8, then you're going to do a slightly different press, which would be the third press if it were one of these outside numbers. So if a 6 and 8 were to roll, now at this point you're going to get paid $105. So what you're going to do is you're going to press the 5 and 9 up to 100. Now, if any of these roll, regardless of what rolls, you're going to get paid $105. You're going to press the 4 and 10 up to 100. That would be 3 hits. The only thing that could be hinky is if when the 5 and 9 were still at 50, those hit, so it only got paid $70. You wouldn't be able to bring your 5 and 9 up to $100, so you would just go ahead and press the 6 and 8, or you would collect. Some people are just going to collect that $70 at that point, because they already have their 6 and 8 up to 90. The idea behind this strategy is that you actually stop at $90 on the 6 and 8. I personally would bring it up to 120. It seems silly to me to have this one have the 2 most common numbers be the lowest payout bet. 2 most common numbers to roll be the bets that pay out the lowest, because this idea right here is theoretically the final press, the final level. It's up to you if this is where you want to stop. But after 3 hits, the idea is that this is where you were at. You've gone from 320 across to now having 400, 580, to now having $580 across. Seems like a scary amount, but this strategy is only based off of 4 hits. You have the 3 hits to bring yourself up to here. On the 4th hit, it does not matter what hits. So on this one, we'll just go ahead and make it completely random, just so it's not a 7. Okay, and 11. Well, okay, it does matter what it hits, because it has to be one of these. And a 3. Well, I've got some talent here. Okay, so 4. Let's say 4 rolls. So what does this pay? Well, they can go ahead and throw in the $5 for the $200 payout because the 4 right here is a buy. Now what are you going to do? Regress. This, like a lot of the conservative strategies, is a regression strategy. So like many of those strategies, even though this starts with a really high bankroll, this is a strategy for very low rolls. This is a strategy for shooters that shoot 10 rolls of the dice or less. Really, this is a strategy for shooters that just manage to break that 50% chance of a 7 in the first 3 rolls. Because at the 4th roll, they regress. This player regresses to 160 across including. They're going to collect everything else. So they have $620 left. $620 left. $620 that they are collecting. And now they have 160 across. 160 across including. And at this point, you're going to go with whatever press method or play style you prefer. Some people are really happy with this right here, where they're winning $25 or more, 35, 35, 49, where they're winning in the greens every single roll, and they just keep same betting. These are the kind of players, the same bet players when they're at this level, the kind of players that'll win a few $100 on a decent roll, $500 or $600 on a super hot roll. So it's up to you what you would do. I personally, on a regression style strategy, if I play a regression strategy, that means I have already kind of given up on the go for it, try and win all the chips on the table kind of thing. So I'm not likely to do a power press. I'm more likely to do a mid press. On the 6 and 8, any of these hit, I'm likely to go 42, then I'm going to go 60, then I'm either going to go 72 or 90, probably 90, from 90, 105, or 150, from 150, probably 210, and from 210 to 300, so on and so forth. For the 5 and 9, I'm looking at probably going from 25 to 35, 35 to 50, 50 to 75, 75 to 125, 125 to 150 probably, maybe 200. Let me say 200, 125 to 200, because I'm still collecting a black at that point. 200 to 300, 300 to 500, so on and so forth. 4 and 10, probably just going to do straight presses. 25 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 200, 200 to 400. Because those I'm still collecting a pretty decent bit. And that's the problem with regression strategies. If you actually catch that hot roll, really you're 5 or 6 rolls behind the power presser. This is the kind of strategy that if you hit one of those 60 roll hands that we've talked about in other videos, and of course those extremely low likelihood rolls, but should you hit one of those 60 roll hands with no 7, your power presser is probably going to win $30, $40, $50, $60,000. Your mid presser is probably going to win $10 to $15,000. This player right here is probably going to win about $3,000 or $4,000 because they're so many beats behind. However, if you catch those 10 to 15 roll hands, the power presser is losing money every single time. The mid presser is coming close to breaking even. They're losing a little because they're collecting a little bit. They're pretty close to breaking even on the 10 to 15 roll hands. They might lose a little bit, and this player is actually going to be ahead. This player is going to be ahead a few $100s. So this is a strategy that if you catch a few decent rolls, just this, like I said, the Midland rolls, what as dealers we wouldn't really call a good roll. We would just say, oh, it wasn't bad. I've seen worse. You're going to win some money. Because as you see, you hit that 4th hit and you've won a few $100s. You've got what some people would consider a free bet, although we hate that term. Once this money is yours, it is yours. You are not playing with the casino's money. You're playing with your money. If it was the casino's money, they could take it back anytime they wanted. This is your money. So when you're playing with this is not the casino's money. It's not a free bet. It's your money. But you have collected more than your initial buy-in or more than your initial bet, and now you're betting a lower amount and just pressing up. It's not horrible. It's really, really not. And this is the kind of strategy that you can win a few $100s at. And again, like I say in all of the strategy videos lately, set yourself a backstop. No strategy is unbeatable. no strategy is guaranteed win, despite what some people may think. It's not possible. There are mathematicians with PhDs that have gone over this. It is absolutely impossible to have a can't-miss strategy. Some people are firmly convinced that their strategy is unlosable, and that is not true, but people can believe what they choose to believe. If there were truly an unbeatable strategy, then this game would not exist. But there are strategies that you will win in the short term, so set yourself a backstop. If you buy in for, say, with this strategy, it's kind of a this is a pretty heavy bankroll strategy. So let's say you bought in for $2,000. And let's say you count up your money, you've had a couple of midland rolls, you count up your money, and you've got, say, $3,300. Tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to stop at $3,000. If I go down to $3,000, I'm going to walk away. It's the only way you're going to win money is if you choose to walk away at a certain point. So make sure that you set yourselves backstops. Even change your strategy a little bit. If you buy in for $2,000, you're playing this strategy and you find yourself, you count your rail and you've got, say, $3,400 or $3,500, maybe stop doing $320 across. Maybe say, you know what, I'm going to stop at $3,000 because I'm up $1,000, and I'm just going to start playing 54 across or 64 across or 96 across, whatever the table minimums may be, and play a slightly different strategy so that you don't lose what you're allowing yourself to gamble with all in one shot. But that's entirely up to you. You play how you want to play. All I'm doing is offering you these strategies as ideas. I don't expect you guys to play the strategies exactly as we have seen them or had them sent to us or came across them. These are just ideas for you guys to develop your own strategies. Everybody's different. You want to have fun while you're playing. Have fun. That is the number one thing. Have fun while you play this game. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys can use this possibly as an idea percolating in your brains to come up with your own strategies and your own ideas, or possibly you want to modify it. If you guys have any of your own strategies, go ahead and send them to us. Email us at sincityliving@gmail.com. We'd be happy to post a video on them. Thank you very much, guys. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We'll catch you guys next time.